Hello, welcome once again to my channel. My name is Larry. Today I'm going to be taking you through a tutorial of how I transform this image from here to this. Let's get straight into the video. So I already edited this image using frequency separation, and you can see this is how the image was looking before and this is how it's looking after. So after editing with a frequency separation, I realized that I would like to have a different background than I have here. So basically here it's black and I wanted to put in some more drama in here. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is to try to select the subject from the image, which is basically very easy here because as you can see the background is black and the subject just stands out. So what I'll do is I'll create a visible stamp layer by pressing Ctrl Alt Shift E on your keyboard and just come here to select subject. So Photoshop would automatically select the subject for you. So you can see that Photoshop did a pretty good selection. The only issue that I see here is that, for instance, on this side of the model, so the left side, the background here is actually not selected. So this is very easy to do. I'll just go to select the quick selection tool, and I'll just tell Photoshop, so press Alt to remove and click. So Photoshop would subtract that section that I didn't want it to select. And what I'll do here is I'll just click on the mask so that I create a mask of the area where the subject is and the area where the subject is not. So I'm just creating this now, but we'll use it later and you would realize why I did this at the beginning. So to begin with, you would select a new layer and select solid color adjustment layer, and I'm going to put in something brown at the beginning. So I already played with the color code, and the color code is 25120A. So I just click OK. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn this layer here into a smart object. So we'll just right click on the color fill and select convert to smart objects. So now that I converted this to a smart object, I'm going to begin with adding my effects. So what I will do is I will just go to filter. I'll go to filter and go to noise and add some noise. So here I worked with 3, as you can see from the beginning. Just press OK and go back to filter. So I had some noise here. Right now what I want to add is to add some pixelation effects, so to give me sort of a cubic effect in the background. So this can be done still from the filter. Go to pixelate and go to crystallize, and here I chose the maximum cell size. So I chose 300 here, which is the maximum I could go, and just click on OK. So now that we have the background, what we would like to do is to apply the background that we have here to where we had black. So basically we want to apply this in this section of the background of the image. So to do this, because we already created a layer mask here, what I would do is click on this and just add a layer mask here as well. But then what I can do is that I can copy the layer mask that I created here and just apply it to the top. So to do this, you just press Alt, click the layer mask here and just drag it to the top, so where you want the layer mask to be applied. And Photoshop would ask you if you would like to replace the layer mask. Of course, yes. So what happened here is that the Photoshop actually applied the layer mask that we selected. The issue, however, is that when you look at normally a layer mask, I can press Alt, click here for you to see what is going on. Where you have white are layers where the effect is applied, and where you have black means that the effect is hidden. But here I don't want that case. I want the effect to be applied in the background. So basically when I turned off this, you can see that I want the effect to be applied here where I have black. So to do this is very easy. Just click on the layer mask and press Ctrl I. So this inverts the selection. So right now we just have it just as we wanted. We have the model in where it should be, and we have the background that we created in the background. So basically this is done, but I would like to play a little bit with the color grading and the contrast and the brightness of the image. So to work with the color grading, I'll still use my solid color. That's my new favorite. And I'll just select any color here, right? And what I'll do is I'll label this to shadows, because I want to apply the grading only to the shadows of the image. So I'll double click back here to the color selection tool. And the color that I would want to work with here is something bluish. So that's 202080. So this is the color that I'm going to be applying to the shadow area of the image. So click OK. And right now what I'm going to be doing is I don't want to apply the blue to the highlights of the image. I just want to apply it to the shadows. So what are the shadows? The shadows are the darker spots of the image. So to do this, I'll reactivate this layer, and I will double click the right side of the layer to open the layer style settings. And down here on the underlining layer, I would remove the blue color from the highlight. So this area on the right is the highlights, which is designated by white, and the left section here is the shadows designated by black. So to do this, I will just click and drag to the left, because I want to take this completely from the white, sorry, take this away from the highlight. So I'll just drag this from the right to the left to an area where I feel this is okay. So over here seems fine for me. And then I would click Alt, I'll press Alt and click here and drag this to the right side. So this would sort of, you see over here, you can see that I have very harsh transitions, but with the Alt, when I drag this to the left, it's sort of puts more of a gradient effect. So to change the transition from the highlights into the shadows more gradually. This is fine with me, so I'll just click OK here. And of course, this is too much, that's not what I want. So I'll just change the opacity here to something of about, can play with this a little bit. This is too much, still too much for me. I just want a subtle effect. So 23, 27. I think 23 is fine. So I'll just put in 23 here, and I have the effect. So the image here looks underexposed. You can see that it looks a bit darker. When you can want to see why this is the case, you can just go here and select histogram. And when you look at the histogram, you see that on the right side, there is not much information here. So that's why the image looks underexposed. So this is very easy to fix. I normally do this with my levels. So click here, select levels, and I'll drag the right side to the left to increase the brightness of the image. So this is fine. And what I also do is I would boost some contrast. So I can boost some contrast by just pulling the blacks back in a little bit, and this is perfect. So that's exactly what I want. If you'd want to retouch the video, if you want to play with the image again to try to see if you can do this yourself, just put it in the comments. I would provide a raw image that I'm working with here as well for you to see how I did this. Thank you once again for watching, and please remember to subscribe and like the video for more tutorials. Thanks once again. See you. Bye.